of taxation. System of taxation. During this period, the main occupation was agriculture. Okay, the main occupation agriculture, though the main revenue was taken by farmers. And kings required more resources to maintain large armies, therefore, they appointed officers to collect the taxes, and agriculture was the main source of revenue. The farmers gave 1/6 of their produce as sad bhaga to the king. The craftsmen paid taxes either in cash or by offering free services. Taxes were on buying and selling of goods. As we already discussed, the kings needed resources to meet the expenses of their kingdoms. A number of taxes were levied on crops grown by peasants. 1/6 of the produce, sad bhag, was fixed as the king's share or the tax. It was collected. It was collected in kind and later on in cash. Then Bali was another important tax. Apart from farmers, craftspeople such as potter, weaver, carpenter, etc. also paid taxes. Taxes paid in the form of labor was called visti. It involved offering free services to the king. Tax collectors were appointed by kings to assess and collect taxes. Trade flourished during this period due to the following reasons. During this period, trade also flourished. With the invention of coins, the trade and commerce flourished. Evidence of punch-marked silver and copper coins prove that instead of bartering system, for the first time people had started using coins as payment for trade. Brigu Kacha, Tamralipti and Suparika were important seaports. Patliputra, Ayodhya, Kausambhi, Kashi, Patna and Champa were important river ports. Trade was also carried on with other countries such as Swarnbhumi, Myanmar and Babylon. With the increase in agricultural production, people began the practice of preserving or storing the grain because they could not consume. The additional produce kept aside from the social amount was called surplus. A substantial portion of agricultural surplus went into the payment of different taxes, while some of it was also traded in the form of commodities. This period witnessed an increase in trading activities which lasted many centuries. The goods produced by craftsperson were carried over long distance by merchants. They may have used the punchmark coins as the medium of exchange. So during this period, trade also flourished. Merchants organized themselves into associations or guilds, which were called shirins. Then goods were taken as far away as Takshila in northwest India. Bregukacha and Sopara on the west coast were important seaports from where the goods were sent to West Asia. So during this period, trade flourished to many countries. Trading this through this map, you can understand that during this period, trade flourished in which countries? Okay. Now, society. What was society? The social setup of the Janpat or Mahajanpat was similar to that of the later Vedic period. The Varna system, characterized by the division of society into Brahman, Kshatri, Vaishya, and Shudra, assumed more concrete form and came to be formally established in the society. Steadily, it ceased to be skill based and became hereditary. Thus, the son of a merchant could only become a merchant. You can say that the society was divided into four groups called Varnas. People of different Varnas perform different tasks. Brahmins, they were at the top of Varna system. They were expected to study and teach the Veds, perform sacrifices, and receive gifts. Kshatriya, ruler and warriors known as Kshatris, were number two in the Varna system. They were expected to fight war and protect the people. Then Vaishyas, farmers, herders, and traders came to this category. Then Shudra, they were the lowest in the Varna system. They were not allowed to study or to perform sacrifices. They were supposed to serve the other three Varnas. During this period, caste system became rigid and came to be based on birth. For example, the son of a Brahmin will automatically become a Brahmin. Some people were also classified as untouchables. So the society was divided into four parts: Brahmar, Kshatri, Vaishya, and Shudra, according to their occupation, as you all have learned in later Vedic period. Okay, now religion. Religion, you can see that later Vedic period, the people used to worship this one many gods and goddesses. So same in this period also we can see from 600 BC the Vedic religious system underwent transformation, and in this age the Brahman had begun to dominate the religion's practices. So due to Brahman, they many people they want to leave their religion. So Brahmins encouraged complex rituals, elaborate sacrifices, expensive ceremonies, etc. People gradually became dissatisfied with the existing form of religion and shout different religious opinions. So, as a result, new religions such of Jainism and Buddhism, which did not conform of Brahmanical principles, became popular. Uh, you have to remember that during this period, the two this religion emerged. That was Buddhism and Jainism, and the people started living their religion because due to Brahmins, because they had begun to dominate the religious practices. They started encouraging people to for doing complex rituals, sacrifices, expensive ceremonies, etc. That's why mostly people want to adopt other religion. So same you can see that Buddhism, about this Buddhism and Jainism we will study in next chapter. Okay, but during this period you have to remember that Buddhism and Jainism emerged. Okay, now next is Magad. Now Magad, the the monarchical Mahajanpad of Magad corresponds to present day Bihar. It enjoyed many natural advantages. It is located at the confluence of the river Ganga and Son. Water was available for drinking, cultivation, and transport. The Gangetic Plain, one of the most fertile areas in the world, supported the cultivation of a variety of crops. The alluvium soil of the Gangetic Plain had a large deposit of iron ore that was used for making agricultural implements and weapons of war. It also had dense forests that provided wood and elephants that proved to be a invaluable means of transportation and animal for fighting wars during Magadh expansion. Magadh also had profitable trading networks with other regions. Lastly, it had some strong rulers such as Bhimbisara and Ajatashatru of the Haranyaka dynasty. Magad power continued to expand under the Shishunaga and the Nanda families. So much so that when Alexander wanted to go east of the river Indus, people warned him of the massive army of the Nandas. Their army had many elephants, chariots, and foot soldiers. Although the Nandas controlled the entire Gangetic plain from their capital at Patliputra, they were cruel and tyrannical and thus unpopular. So uh, we shall read later. It was easy for Chandragupta Maurya to overthrow the Nandas and lay the foundation of the Mauryan dynasty. Again, I am repeating, student. Magad, about the Magad. If you will see the political history of India from 6th century BC onwards, in the history of struggle for supremacy among the four states of Magad, Koshala, Vas, and Avanti. Ultimately, Magad emerged victorious. By the 5th century BC, it became the strongest and the largest state of India. It played a significant role in the politics of India till 4th century BC. Now, what were the factors of leading of the rise of Magdhan power? Many factors contributed to the rise and expansion of Magad kingdom. They, these are the Magad Empire enjoyed an advantage geographical position. Number one, it was secured from all the sides. Number next is the river like the Ganga, Son, and Champa flowed through Magad. They helped in improving transport, water supply, and fertility of land. Next is there were thick forests in Magad, and elephants living in the forest could be tamed and trained for the army. Forests were also an important source of providing wood, which was required for building houses, cars, and chariots. There were rich iron ore deposits in Magad. They enabled the rulers to make themselves occupied with effective weapons. They also helped in the growth of agriculture and industry, thus making Magad strong and prosperous. Magad was situated in the middle Gangetic plain, hence its land was very fertile. Magad had a large army equipped with effective weapons of iron. It was the first state to have a powerful elephant unit in its army. The Magadhan rulers like Bimbisara, Ajashatru, and Mahapadmananda were very courageous and ambitious. They expanded and strengthened their kingdom and converted it into a large empire. Bhimbisara in particular made a remarkable contribution in the rise and expansion of the Magadhan Empire. He established matrimonial relations with powerful and renowned states of the day in order to make Magad strong and powerful. Now, both rulers, Bhimbisara and Ajashatru, used all possible means to conquer other Janpas. Mahapadmananda gave Magad an unparalleled expansion. He extended his control up to the northwest part of the subcontinent. Both the capitals of the Magad, earlier at Rajgriha and later at Patliputra, were situated at strategic locations. So, this is a story of the kings of the Janpads, such as Magad, needed resources to maintain their armies, build forts, and to carry on welfare works like building roads, canals, and wells. Thus, instead of occasional gifts brought by the people, as in case of the Rajas of the Janpad, they started collecting regular taxes. Magad was the great Janpad. Taxes on crops were the most important income. This was because mostly people were farmers. Bhimbisara, great kings of Magadh. Bhimbisara. Bhimbisara, he was the first great ruler of Magadh. Hailed from the Haryanka family, his capital was Giri Raja or Rajagriha. He made Magadh a powerful kingdom by various means. He married princes of other kingdoms, conquered hostile kingdoms, encouraged trade, improved the means of transport, and used iron for working weapons. Thus, Bimbisara blazed the trail of the rise and expansion of Magadh. Administration during that period, king was the supreme regarding general administration, military and justice, a council of ministers or advisory body to advise the king in the administration. Purohit, Senapati, Mahamantri and Yuvraj acted as ministers. Amatyas, administrative personnel or civil servants, all types of appointments. Superintendent or Adhyakyas, heads of various departments. 27 Adhakyas in central administration. These were the important people who help in administration, who help the king in administration. Bimbisara of Haranyakya dynasty was the most important ruler of Magadh. He became the king of Magadh when he was just 15 years old. He was a strong, ambitious, and efficient ruler. Do you know, students, how many years he ruled? He ruled for 50 years, 542 BC to 492 BC. His capital was Rajgriha and later Patliputra. Bhimbisara believed in the policy of expansion. He expanded his kingdom by entering into marriage alliances with princes of Koshala, Vaishali, and Madra. He received Kashi as a gift from Koshala. Now, second important ruler was Ajashatru. He was Bhimbisara's son. Ajashatru became king in 493 BC. He was ambitious and wanted to extend the boundaries of the Magadhan Empire. He attacked the rulers of Koshala and the Lichavis Ghanashanga, even though both rulers were related to him. The capital of Magadh was Rajgriha or modern day Rajgir in Bihar. Later, a new capital in the form of a water fort or Jaladurga was built at Patliputra by Ajashatru's successors. These two important rulers of Magadh, they built the Magadh. King Ajashatru, he was the second ruler of Magadh. He was the son of Bhimbisara. He extended his kingdom by conquering a number of neighboring Janpad. He ruled for 32 years, 493 BC to 461 BC. He was Ajashatru who made Patliputra the capital of Magadh. Patliputra became a famous center of wealth, learning, and power in ancient India. He built a huge port in Patliputra. He made Magadh the most powerful kingdom of northern India. Since the sons of Ajashatru could not maintain their control over the kingdom after Ajashatru's death, the kingdom lost its prosperity. It ultimately passed into the hands of Nanda dynasty. Now, Vajji, the capital of Vajji was Vaishali, which is in Bihar, Republic of Vajji. There was republic rule in Vajji. Vajji state was a republic. It was a confederation of 8 clans, of whom the Lichavi, Vedas, Janatrikas, and the Vajjis were the most important. Tribals, you know, that is clans means tribals. Okay, the Lichavis ruled over the area that was located to the north of the river Ganga in Bihar. Vaishali, modern Basra in Vaishali district of North Bihar, it was the capital and political headquarters of the powerful Vajjian confederacy. The Lichavis, the strongest among the ruling clan of Vajji, were followers of the Buddha. They were closely related by marriage to the kings of Magad. The Khana or assembly of the Lichavis had many members, all of whom were called Rajas. This Khana met several times in a year when important decisions were taken after through discussions by majority. For administrative purposes, there was a smaller body called the Council of Ministers. It had members called Raja, Upraja, Senapati, and the Bhandarika. Women, dasas or slaves, and landless agricultural laborers, karmakars, were excluded from the Lichavis assembly. The Lichavis were brave and warlike. Ajashatru, the king of Magad, dared to fight against them. They were more powerful. Do you know, students? The Lichavis tribals, they were very powerful. Ajashatru was dared with them. Ajashatru failed to defeat them in open warfare, and so he sent his minister Vasakara to secretly weaken the Lichavis by showing seeds of decisions among them. But his plan was not completely successful. Ajashatru had to fight for about 16 years before the Lichavis could be subdued. So Mahajanpad of and you know students that the Vajji was the world first democratic republic. World first democratic republic. Remember it. Lichavis are famous for their bravery and heroism. Every great king like Ajashatru had to fight for 16 years with Lichavis to conquer them. The Lichavis had made a great progress in art and culture. Their love for art is visible in the beautiful chaityas, viharas, and gardens built by them in Vajji. Buddha and Mahavira both praise this form Lichavis. An account of Vajji from the experts from Digha Nikya, a famous Buddhist book written in 2300 years ago. Digha Nikya is a source of information which give about the detailed description of Lichavis. So Lichavis were very powerful and they built Vajji. There were many rulers in Vajji, but Lichavis were more powerful. Okay. Okay, students.